What's up, everybody? Welcome to Turn Order, the Seventh Eon, Episode 5. Disregard what it says on the screen right now because I done fucked up. Dude, I had to fix everybody's camera because everybody was fucked because Charlie's not here today. It took me forever.
Episode 2, right? And then I think
you did it last episode.
3, 4,
I do
6.
it almost every week. We know.
We're 50-50, dude. Okay. It's not bad.
We know that I am awful at remembering to fix that. We know. Everybody knows. It's just the thing. What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to Turn Order the Seventh Eon, episode number 5. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Stram.
Very warm.
It's very warm.
It is warm.
That's because you're just
so hot.
I
measured my
underboob
earlier, and it was 37 Celsius.
Is that how you Is that how you tell the temperature? Are we getting rated?
I checked it afterwards, and I got it. I had a cold shower, and I got my underboob down 5 degrees. So that's pretty good.
That's pretty impressive. I feel like a heat sink or something.
That's pretty good.
Got your underboob.
One of these days, I'm gonna attack someone with my underboob and kill them with heat stroke. So
oh dear.
That's aggressive and strangely arousing.
My serial killer name will be the underboob killer.
Oh my god.
Now
Jack the Ripper.
Is it death by smothering or is it death by awkwardness?
I don't know. It might be death by priapism because.
Ooh, good word.
To my underboob,
the fuck is what does that word even mean?
When you have an erection for more than 4 hours.
That's welcome,
Raiders. You guys came in at the best time. Sorry. Welcome. Believe it or not, what we do here is we play D&D 5th edition. And we are playing a homebrew custom campaign. Yeah. So, welcome.
It's your turn.
Welcome. Bobby's already uncomfortable. That's how you know it's.
Get ready. No, I'm not uncomfortable. I'm just ready for more of that.
He's not uncomfortable. He's just had an erection for 4 hours, and now he knows what to call it.
Prietism.
He's just trying to take all that.
Propetism.
I just call that a Friday.
I'm surprised it's not every day, Peachy.
I mean, I got to take a day off here and there. Otherwise...
Right.
So, chat, what are your thoughts on autofocus on webcams? I'm going to stream with autofocus turned off. We could just poll chat. If you stream with a webcam, do you use autofocus?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Crucial. Because I think it's
before we can continue. We actually, you know what? I think we need a vote. Actually, let's vote. Let's vote.
Is Peachy wrong? Yes or no?
First or milk first?
Yeah,
this
Peachy.
This is
on
bad.
Charlie's level, Peachy.
We're on the same page. Peachy's just like, you got to be fucking kidding me right now. Yeah, webcams have autofocus. I know, Ellen. Like they don't need it.
Exactly.
I'll open this window again, Wack. I'll do it.
For a second there, Bobby, I thought you were saying I know Ellen, like you're pretending to be on Ellen DeGeneres' show talking about how Peachy's a shitlord.
No, I'm not that good at RP. I can't sell it that well.
Ellen DeGeneres would be like, yeah, well.
I don't know what she'd say.
You should come out, she'd be like, well, we've got something for you, Peachy, and she'll come out with a camera that doesn't have any autofocus.
I bet she'd be good at D&D.
Why would she give out shitty gifts?
You know what?
She's generous. She's a
gonna...
national treasure.
You get a C920, and you get a C920. And you...
So we'll invite her onto the show. She'll be down for it. I think she would play I think she'd play a halfling.
She's not busy, is she?
No.
She would totally play a halfling. Why is that correct? She would totally play a halfling.
I'm on the same page, Ty. Down with autofocus.
Oh, here we go. My webcam doesn't autofocus. It's the worst.
You sure it's the webcam?
Wait, are you saying that it's their face?
Wow.
Aggressive work.
Wow.
Mac.
Mac is on that warpath today. She was destroying Peachy in the pre-show, everything. Yeah.
He was being kind of rude to me, so obviously.
I was?
Obviously.
I was? Was I?
I have to vote on this.
I sent you all those gifts on Snapchat.
What gifts? We didn't even have each other in Snapchat. Don't lie to me.
Welcome to the stream, everybody. Don't worry. Eventually, we do play D&D here. In case you guys haven't guessed, Charlie is not going to be joining us today. She is in the process of getting set up after a move, so she will not be joining us today. So I will be playing the part of Ori as best as I can. I hope I can do okay.
You're also gonna have to play the part of Drab
Mouse.
because I'm on strike. Fuck you guys.
Nothing was lost today.
Oh my god!
This is what I have to deal with.
Oh Jesus! Mac,
Savage.
Mac is just savage AF today. Wow.
my God.
Oh.
Could you say she is on fire? Hey.
Just because
I
she
mean,
plays a
but-
fire genasi.
Just
Yeah.
just reward
Just
her with a
getting
lot
in
of
my
silence. I
It's
mean,
fine, I can't see your face
Can
anyway.
we all get advantage?
for what?
Inspiration?
For
Turn my
dealing?
soundboard on and just
I
play
don't know.
sad music to myself.
He's gonna write himself a soundtrack.
World smallest violin.
Yeah, let's if you guys haven't seen the show before, we are 5 episodes into a homebrew story. The characters have been journeying around and doing some quests and stuff, your typical role-playing things. But this is like their first sort of big mission that they're going to be set off on today. So let's go around the room and let's do some introductions. Why don't we start off with Bobby?
Sounds good. What's up, everybody? I'm Iron Chef Bobby Flail here on Twitch. I stream early in the mornings. I'm probably going to be playing some Destiny beta tomorrow and pretend like I'm a first-person shooter professional. And hopefully there's auto-aim, and then I might actually look like I know what I'm doing. But either way, here I'm playing...
shooters. Why would you play Destiny?
Because it's the new hotness, you know? And I'm a slave to the machine, so...
Slave to the hotness.
Yeah. Here, though, I play Belmore Dreltek, a golden dragonborn nobledan. I'm half noble, which is a class from A Touch of Class by Morse, which is sort of like a less magical bard, sort of support-esque kind of character, which is pretty great. And the other half is paladin, so it's a pretty good character. Worship Bahamut, got some fancy golden armor, and I won a bunch of money on some gambling last episode.
What
And
kind
also-
of gambling?
No, I think I'll let Zacatecus explain.
Hey, I'm gonna.
Mac?
Hi, I am McQuannas, and I'm playing Igneas, sadly still without a normal house and internet connection, but someday that will change.
Have
I
you made
faith.
progress?
I visited 3 houses last week, and one is super nice. The only thing is I will be able to enter, if I get it, like that would be my favorite, but I won't be able to enter until the 1st of November. But apparently there are some internet companies that offer like internet for like monthly, but I was on the phone for literally an hour. I talked to someone after 45 minutes, and then they said after they wanted me, like I needed someone that spoke English, she was like, oh, I'm gonna put you through to someone else that speaks English. And then I waited another 30 minutes, and then the line got disconnected because I was on it too long. So that went well.
Sounds like a great communications company.
Yeah, real solid.
Yeah. So
Or average, as the case may be, unfortunately.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I hope I can fix that, because then at least I'll be able to, you know, it's still not great. It's like 16 of it down, but it's like better, and it will probably make me able to stream with a webcam at least. But yeah, I'm still playing through Hellblade. Really fun, good game. I mean, fun. I wouldn't say fun. It's an intense game, but definitely worth playing. And some Hearthstone. Yeah.
Do you play Hearthstone while playing Hellblade to try and like balance out the stress that's like being placed upon your brain?
I mean, it's not that. Well, I mean, it's just like I know that like some people can't watch it because of the sounds. Like it's very like everyone is talking to you at the same time, kind of spooky. But I don't know. I don't mind as much because like I talk all the time anyways, and even I hear myself talking all the time. And it's like, okay, so this is weird. It's like I talk in my sleep a lot, but sometimes I will talk so loud that I wake myself up. I notice that I'm talking to myself, and then just accept that that's how it is, and I just keep talking for a while, and then I'll fall back.
So what you're saying is
really
at
weird.
TwitchCon, I need some soundproofing or something so that.
Yeah, I mean, like you can have conversations with me. Like I'll give actual responses. Like I'll fit the conversation.
You can get an app for your phone, Sleep Talk Recorder, and you just have it setting, and it activates at a certain volume level. I've done that, and there's been some funny ones.
Yeah, I usually have my friends saying what I said, like multiple things.
Yeah, I've woken up Mrs. Z a few times, and she says the creepiest one to date is when I kind of sat up and leaned over to her and said, "There's been a mistake. I should have killed her." And then went back to sleep, and she was like, "What?"
Okay, I'm gonna get
I
up
will
now.
never sleep again.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna wake up now.
Yep, she's nodding. She's like, "Yep, that's creepy as fuck."
Speaking of
Talk
creepy as
about
fuck,
creepy as fuck.
Peachy!
Hey!
You're muted.
I'm on strike.
Is your name now Strike?
I'm not even going to introduce myself or my character, even though they're
Strike
both
Bison.
amazing. Speaking of being both amazing, Whack.
It's Sigoticus up next, since Charlie's not here.
Scoticus.
You're muted, you goober.
I'm doing Charlie's first, and she's not here.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm not ready. No. That's Charlie's
Charlie.
I'm Scoticus though. I play Kelvin Ironbrew, Mountain Dwarf Alchemist, and yeah, he's not a very charming person a lot of the time.
Oh, it was so sweet though what you did last week.
Yeah, but that's just it's
Letting her win the arm wrestle is so nice of you.
Yeah, I fudged the rolls so that little gnome could win against my upgraded magical strength, and I totally didn't get double crit against or anything. She didn't roll like a 29 against a 15, whatever it was.
I thought she had an easier time beating you than I did.
I know, right? Didn't watch that one. But yeah, you can follow me in other places. It's Scoticus, but make sure you follow here too, because I do D&D here. If you want to see what that's like, then that's gonna happen right now.
Supposedly.
Toodle-doo, toodle-doo, toodle-doo. What was that from? Wayne's World?
Yes.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Both of them.
What's that? You know, Wayne's World is like a play park here, because Wayne means a child here. A Wayne
Agreed.
is a child.
Wait, all the children are named Wayne?
No, Wayne is the word for child.
That's weird.
That makes no goddamn sense.
Don't
Yeah,
get it.
it's spelled differently though. But Wayne's World
Is it spelled H-E-I-N?
Oh, Peachy.
I get so confused when I play role.
I just want a wee drab of heroin.
Schledane. Is that how you say it?
Klundane.
Glendane.
Klundane. You need like.
Got like a half a popcorn kernel shell stuck in the back of your throat.
Oh, that's horrible. I don't want to pick
Just
that.
describe the entire Welsh language.
Klundane.
Do you guys like secretly eat a bunch of popcorn?
No, Bairn is a baby, Wayne is a child.
I can't actually secretly eat popcorn. It's like a fevered like pitch of popcorn that happens. You know, it's just it's
hand,
the bowl.
handful, just
Secretly popcorn?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't eat
just
popcorn secretly. It's too loud. Number
handfuls.
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't like popcorn at all.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god. What is wrong with you?
He doesn't like something.
Like,
Oh,
seriously. Like, how
doesn't
can
like
you not
things.
like popcorn?
He doesn't like things that everybody else likes. He probably hates dinosaurs.
he
probably
does
hates
like-
sharks.
He does like skinny
Magic.
jeans. Definitely like skinny jeans and like old man caps
What?
because he's a hipster.
I wouldn't say he's a hipster.
He is. He doesn't like things most normal people do. That's a hipster in a nutshell.
I don't think it is.
I don't know.
Speaking
I
of
don't think it
nutshells,
is.
hey everybody, I'm Wacksteven. I'm the DM of Doom. I will be dragging these guys kicking and screaming through the adventure today. If you like what you've seen so far, too bad, because we're actually going to do role-playing for the rest of the show. These are our normal personalities. So just imagine what our characters are like. Yes, so I will be dragging these guys kicking and screaming through the adventure today. If you guys like what is done here, or even if we've made you laugh or whatever, please give a follow to all these wonderful people so far. They're fantastic. If you guys like what I do here, I'd love a follow here and on Twitter at Wacksteven there. We do a ton of role-playing stuff, and let's talk a little bit about what happened last session. Let's talk a little bit about what happened last session. And there's not that much to talk about because last session, let's be honest, was kind of just ended up being a hilarious shopping episode, I think, for the most part, with some traveling. No, that was the episode before was the shopping episode. Last episode was the traveling. Got it.
Traveling.
Got
yeah.
it. Got it. Okay. So, last episode, the characters set sail on the Carré, a merchant ship heading out from the port of St. Helena, here on this map, setting out from St. Helena through the Lucky Man's Channel across the Bay of Fashin to Kazakhs.
Yo, that channel was very unlucky though.
Yeah.
That was like the unluckiest of channels.
I mean, there were
Did you guys live?
tentacles.
Did you guys live?
We lived so good.
We did. To be honest, I'm gonna. It
Didn't-
feels awful doing
didn't-
this,
Didn't a
but we
wee
didn't
little
live
gnome
because of
beat an alchemist in an arm wrestle in
Right.
spectacular fashion?
We didn't live because of luck. We lived
Because of Bahamut, obviously.
Because of Peachy. Because of
What
Jack-
happened? Did Peachy? What happened?
Sorry, complimenting Peachy is really hard.
I didn't hear that.
That's too bad.
We got clutch barded.
What? So what happened?
The monster could move, and he was stuck, so we
Peachy-
sailed away. Hey.
Peachy used the spell.
Why
What's
couldn't it
this?
move? Why was it stuck?
Well, okay, so what he wanted to do, I think it was enchant or sleep or something, but that failed. But still, even though it failed, the thing was incapacitated or whatever. He could move.
No.
Turned off autofocus on the kaiju.
Couldn't find us.
Yeah, it couldn't find us. It was actually clutch though. Like,
Did you try to make it sleep though, right, or something?
No.
What then?
He
It was
hypnotized
hypnotic
it.
pattern he used.
Oh, hypnotic.
Yeah. It's like an area that you just hypnotize people inside it.
and the fact that it makes their speed 0 meant that he was gonna sink.
Oh wait, but I thought that it passed the roll.
No, it failed.
Oh, I'm so confused.
It failed by 1.
Yes,
Oh,
correct.
One.
For some reason, I thought that was like it seemed so strange already. Like, how did that work? But
So, the characters set sail out from St. Helena on the last episode, tasked with the mission of going to visit the capital city of Zahuras, Kazakhs, to investigate an inquiry, a opportunity for a lot of money to be made for the guild, approximately 10,000 gold pieces to be paid to the Iron Foxes.
quickly ask something. Can we assume we've had a long rest after, since we've been sailing for multiple
Absolutely,
days?
yes.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yes.
something I didn't realize.
Yes, absolutely. You guys can assume that you had a long rest. Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
it's been about 15 plus days to get to Kazakhs. So you've definitely had a long rest. Yes, they encountered a strange occurrence, a very odd creature named an isonade, that apparently came in with this magical fog and an incredible storm. Some pirates thought to take advantage of the storm as it was rolling in. The characters held them off for a brief time when they were suddenly attacked by this creature, this isonade. Drab, with some quick thinking, managed to hypnotize it and force it to remain where it was and just kind of float downwards and lose track of the players. And the characters continued onward, learning a little bit more about some cargo that the Kure, the ship that they were on, was carrying. A strange, aquatic-looking man was inside this sort of golden contraption in the center of the ship. The once reaching just outside of the area of Kazakhs, this man was sort of removed from this contraption, and the crew said their goodbyes, and he left.
I'm still kind of surprised why they were so secretive about something that was just gonna, like...
Well, this person, this man, leapt off the ship into the water, and you guys continued heading towards Kazakhs. It was only a few hours out from your destination. You guys will arrive in the late afternoon. It's probably about 4 o'clock or so in the afternoon. As you pull up to the docks, you can see a pretty impressive sight. Kazakhs is a very interesting place. The city is very animated. Immediately on the docks, you can see sights of strange performances happening. There are sort of some people twirling around with some fire sticks, and it looks like somebody is breathing like some fireballs into the air. And there's this sort of like music that's sort of traveling in from the docks as well. This like sort of fast-paced like drum beat, and you can see that there's like various musicians and stuff around the docks. There's a lot of people milling about. You can see there's just in general a lot of activity. Someone near the docks appears to be yelling and says,
"New vessels! Pull into port! Have your manifest ready! Cargo and passengers! Be ready to speak with the harbour master! Ships entering the port!"
And like constantly just seems to be repeating it, walking around, so he can be heard. The captain has sort of assembled the crew together. You can see they're sort of like wrapping up the sails and everything, and they've tossed a line to the dock to sort of like pull the ship in to get it moored to the dock. The crew has a gangplank ready, and you guys have gotten all your belongings and things together, getting ready to disembark. The captain greets you at the top of the gangplank. Who would be speaking to the captain?
I think it would be Galvin. No, Belmorn, I think.
I guess we had already sort of cleaned out our rooms and grabbed all of our stuff, and yeah, I would probably be walking first then.
I'm totally avoiding the captain after the last conversation we had.
Yes, thank you for the smooth passage. Well, as smooth as can be.
Thank you for doing your best to contain. I mean, she sort of like looks over towards Kelvin. Any problems that arose?
Just look back at Kelvin and just look back at her. I'm sorry about that.
It's quite all right. I have been doing this for many years. I have seen my fair share. It was good to have you. And she extends her hand.
Yeah, I put my hand out, shake it firmly.
She leans in close to you, and she says, "Be wary in Zahuras. This city is deceptive. Not many are to be trusted."
Yeah, I just sort of kind of pull back and give her a bit of an inquisitive look, and just turn to the rest of the group. All right, let's go. Let's disembark.
All right. Thank you, Captain.
Captain, Aaron, I wanted to say that, I think you did, you did a really good job, and, it was so good to watch you, do your captaining, ma'am. Thank you, Ori. And it was a pleasure to have you here as well. You were a valuable member of the crew for a short time. May Muhammad watch over you. She sort of like walks down the gangplank.
Thank you for everything. We, are sorry for any sights that you had to see, but at least we had fun.
Just really quick, you, make sure you keep, that pouch I gave you away from, moisture, unless you really need it. I hope you don't ever need it, but all the best, and I, like, rush down the gangplank.
She just kind of chuckles.
What the bloody hell wrong with her? She's a sailor. She's fine. I shake her hand.
Yeah, she shakes.
She is fine.
Yeah, she shakes it back, and she says, "I gave your friend a warning." And she sort of like motions for you to kind of like bend down a little bit, Drab. Do you have a rope and pulleys or something to help you bend down?
It takes a while.
My lumbago. She says, "I warned your friend. Be careful in Kazakhs and Zahuras in general. The people here are not what they seem. This is a deceptive place. Be on your guard."
Any safe places?
I can recommend no safe place in Kazakhs. Only the one that you keep with your friends.
Right. Okay. So, pretty much, they're all bastards.
It's a good way to look at things.
Most cities. Thank you for the use of your chip, and, well, I paid you for him. Whatever.
Be safe.
I'll go and catch up with the rest of them.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you guys disembark off onto the docks. Kazakh is a very different site compared to St. Helena. There is a jungle pretty much everywhere you look. The city is essentially wrapped in jungle, and the city itself has very different architecture. If you guys have ever seen pictures of sort of like Thailand, or like those sort of stone towers that you see prevalent with a lot of older Thai architecture, that's the kind of appearance that you're seeing here. Lots of sort of like open areas with arched windows and tall like stone towers, but not like, they don't look like there's a lot of bricks to them. They look like they're sort of sculptures almost.
Like clay or something.
Yeah, like that. Well, it's a gray kind of stone, sort of overgrown with some some moss and things, and the jungle vines are obviously all over the place. But yeah, it's a very different sight, I think, to all of you. And like I said, there's lots of sort of street performers all around. You can see that there's a lot of places for people to like leave some money in some hats and things. There's a very animated street performance that's happening. Jugglers and you can see like puffs of smoke and stuff. And there's the sort of guy that's shirtless, sort of like all covered in grease. That's kind of like walking around. He's obviously like taking a some sips of some really strong alcohol and breathing fire out.
Right, should we get to business or maybe find somewhere to stay and a beer?
Well,
I could go for a drink, especially after we've had this trip.
Follow me!
Quite a few hours. We should probably at least look into our job before we settle in for the night.
I've already started walking because...
before you get out of range, I'm gonna just grasp your shoulder.
What? Oh, right.
Just
okay.
Come here for a second, and I'd kind of try and huddle everybody together, just quickly, like a football huddle. Just kind of bring everybody in.
It's just all you around there now. Just my head and torso sticking out.
You're a little bit taller, and then I'm a little bit shorter than you, and then everybody else is way down.
So we've got a huddle, and everyone else is just
stand normally.
You'll need to come down a bit further, Ori's not gonna have trouble hearing you if you're up there.
Right. I sit down.
I can hear. I'm okay.
Yes, so as we were departing, the captain gave me a warning to not trust anybody here in either Kazakhs or in Zahuras.
I mean,
What do you mean?
why would you in the first place?
Well, I don't tend to trust many people, but when I get a warning such as that, I'd at least like to share it with my compatriots.
Oh, so she means to distrust people rather than just not trusting them.
Just don't go through instantly trusting.
What she told me is nobody is what they seem. No bloody idea what that means.
With who
Well-
were we supposed to meet?
Everflow, Eldrin, I think.
Do we know where we could find him?
He's
That-
one of the
omnipresence.
That's the one, the omnipresence.
I mean, yes, I know that, but where do we find the omnipresence? I don't know if they're a secret society or...
Yeah,
I look around at the skyline. Is there a big Banff-looking mage tower or something?
The whole city is filled with towers. This actual place is known as the City of Towers. It's very hot. It's very, very hot and very humid. It's probably 90-something degrees plus insane levels of humidity. And
is it super sunny too, even though it's only 4 o'clock?
Well, no, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah, I mean the sun is sort of heading towards setting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Is it still really
still got
strong?
several
Though?
hours. Yeah, absolutely. It's hot as fuck, and it's really gross. That's probably why there's just like a lot of like open windows. Like there's mostly like arches. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like very open, so like they can have the air move through. Towards the north of the city, it rises in elevation, and on that side you can see like the towers like start to like go up in the elevation. So like as you go deeper into the city, like the towers are like taller, and there is one tower that's very, very tall compared to the rest.
So, I'm just. We knew that this city was magical, but like it was still hidden.
Why was it hidden? No.
Well, because like like magic is not something everyone usually sees.
You need a license in this city to use magic.
Correct.
That's what it is. I point to the big tower. My money's on that one.
Why?
Because it's big. And with a name like the Omnipresent, they're clearly up there in arses, so they want a big
There's
tower.
lots of big towers. Look, that one's big, and that one's big. And
But that one's the
that
biggest
big.
one. If you were going to call yourself the Omnipresence and be big and fancy and snobby, you'd want the biggest one, right?
Why don't we just go to a bloody tavern and ask someone? Bartenders always tend to know more than they should.
Well, we could, but knowing our lot, we'll never leave. You get ale into any of you, and, well...
I
turns into
promise
a babysitting.
I will not drink any ale until we've figured out where the Omnipresence is.
Okay, which of your hands are your fingers crossed on?
I have absolutely no crossed fingers, sir. I am
I look down.
to the letter.
Your toes are crossed. I know. I know you, Drab.
I promise
Look,
to you,
I
Mr.
will get-
Dragonborn, sir.
I will buy the first round, and the second, and for that matter, all the rounds for the rest of the evening if we go and take care of this before we find a tavern.
Oh, I'm keeping you to that.
Well, I made my fair share off of those poor fools on the boat. Well done, Nori.
And I kind
You
of
realize for me that's about 1,000 gold, right?
Well, you're gonna be drinking out of a thimble.
I mean, most cups are bloody thimbles to me. Can't get a decent bloody cup anywhere.
You should just bring your own cup around.
Oi, you! I'm just gonna shout at someone in the
my.
crowd.
What are you doing?
You point to some like random. There's probably like a random. We'll say like an Aarakocra. They're just kind of like looking around.
Which ones are the Aarakocra?
The bird people.
The bird people.
Don't ask him where we can get chicken.
Now's not the time
Yep,
for
hello!
jokes.
You with the lovely feathers.
So it's I'd say that this Aarakocra probably has like sort of like brown feathers, sort of like a hawk. Has a sort of hawk-like appearance. Walks over, shorter, probably like 5'2", 5'3", and walks over to you. You're sort of towering above it, and it says, "Yes."
We're looking for the Omnipresence. Do you know it?
Furrows his brow. Of course.
Right. Brilliant. Where is it?
He points towards one of the eastern locations, over here, number 2 on the map, right there. It's the large building there with the many towers.
Ah, brilliant. And I
he-
flick a gold at him.
Excuse me there, and I'm like gonna sail up right next to him. Yeah, don't by any chance have any your plumage is quite fine. You don't by chance have any spare, do you?
Give me a persuasion check.
I'm gonna go up to someone in the street and say, "I want to buy your skin."
Yeah, and I'm totally not
Can I
looking
have
him.
some of your pubic hairs? Oh, just a few.
I'm not.
I hope somebody's clipping this right now.
Mac is on fire today. Holy shit!
Mac is turned up to 11.
I mean,
channeling her
skin,
inner.
you know, like skin would not be the same as a feather. I would say it would be the same as a hair.
Nope. I did it with disadvantage, but I got a 10
Okay.
standard. Didn't mean.
Yeah, okay. So he looks kind of questioning at you and he says, "Are you mad?"
He is, actually. He's just out of the insane asylum over in Radun.
Wait, it's.
Nope.
I'm
I
trying to.
put my hand over your mouth.
Not again there, sonny boy.
He
Sorry
takes
about that, sir.
He looks at the gold coin that he was offered, tucks it away into his pouch. Good day. Kind of like walks away.
Yeah, as he turns, I kind of take my hand off of your mouth.
What the fuck are you doing?
You owe me a fucking birdman feather. I could do special things with that.
You just
Yeah, you
bloody
do.
well offered to buy his skin.
So his skin's underneath.
Still, the last thing we want is some sort of reputation whereby we're asking the locals for parts of their person.
But you still owe me one of your scales. I've not forgotten.
I'm gonna have to agree with Belmont on this
I don't
one.
think you should be asking anyone for any of their skin or scales or feathers. It's not.
To
it doesn't
clarify,
seem very
Kelvin, you should probably ask and don't steal it. That's probably safer than just trying to steal some of their skin.
I'm an alchemist, not a thief. Why would I
Well,
even
look,
consider doing that?
the thing is that I don't know how alchemy is viewed here in Kazakhs. Probably
Alchemy's,
falls under magic. You probably need a permit. And the last thing we want is...
Excuse me, just a point of information here. Alchemy is a well-respected practice the world over, and it is not magic. It's
I
science.
agree with you. However, if the Omnipresence deems it magical,
Then they
we
can
have
fuck
to
off.
abide, but Kelvin,
Fine, Belly. I'll. They better give me a
not insane,
discount,
Alana.
though. I'm not paying full price for a license for science.
well, we shouldn't have to pay for a license for anything if we were the ones that they had inquired for.
I'm sure we'll get one license, one way or another.
Legally, through the proper channels. Now,
It's pretty
let's
bloody
head off
weird,
to the
though.
Omnipresence.
Legally,
Needing a
you
license for magic?
Well, who are we to decide what is right here?
Well,
I point at Ignia. She's basically made of magic.
Well,
I could turn into something, maybe then.
Well,
No, don't.
steady on, Cal.
I think you'll get arrested for that.
No,
Why?
Ignia, why don't we just why don't we just talk to the people? Maybe we could just all try to calm down.
I'm with Ori.
Hey, let's head off to meet Mr. Everflow then.
Yeah, as we start walking, I'm just going to turn back to the group.
So, the things we know, we have to meet with Elder Overflow and find out exactly what it is that I believe they're missing something, was it not?
They want us to pick up some kind of artifact, no description, don't know where it is, what it does.
What's an artifact?
Well, it's a thing that's old and often valuable.
Yes.
So like Belmore?
Exactly like Belmorn.
And I slap her on the back heartily, kind of forgetting a little bit. Stop! Sorry. That was brilliant.
I'm only a mere
I'm writing that one down.
42.
No, I mean you're valuable to me.
Artifact. Belmore. Brilliant. Bloody brilliant.
I mean, you could well pass for an artifact with this age.
I'm going to head to the Omnipresence.
Wait, Belmore, I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
And she's like chasing after you. She's like running like full tilt to like keep up with your pace.
Yeah, I would slow down and let them catch up.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys head to the multi-towered building. It is pretty large, but like I said, it's not like a single tower. It's probably like many towers along like a more sort of rectangular kind of building. There's large arches, probably somewhere like 15, 20 feet high, that are sort of like open. There's very intricate like stone carving and work around the arches for the just in terms of like the art style. The people of this town are generally wearing very fine clothing, just an FYI. Bright colors, very intricate, stylish clothing. This place seems very concerned with fashion. They are... you're probably getting a few glances. Belmorn is probably getting some appraising glances. But, like, the rest of you that are just kind of dressed rather plainly and whatnot are just kind of... You can see maybe like a few people sniggering and stuff like as you're...
Hey, I'm not dressed plainly, okay?
I'm dressed deliberately plainly, like it almost in protest of fancy clothing.
I'm wearing a very fancy armor and a Renaissance mask, regal leather armor of the Veil, and yeah, it's very fancy and fashionable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Give me...
I'm just wearing what looks like a guard's uniform, but I got so much swagger. I got a lot of swagger.
Yeah, because your hip is giving out, right?
No, because I roll a 13 on most skills.
Oh yeah, your charisma is just it's disgusting.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So, Ignia, as you're sort of like walking through the city, the flirting and stuff that you're getting just as you're walking through the city is probably like much more than you're used to. Like everyone's fairly brazen here, and there are men and women that are sort of taking like openly like glaring at you, like with they're just like staring, and sort of smiling and just giving you like appreciative nods and stuff like that. Belmorn as well, probably because you're fucking gleaming so much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing armor that's adorned for the guards, like in Bahamut.
Yeah,
which is like the holy city of the Dragonborn.
I would figure
is it the same level of opulence, or?
Well, I'd figure that you have like finery over your armor. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you have, the popped collar, of course, and the.
But it's all very fine silks and robes, like the best that the Dragonborn can offer.
Yeah. Like
how's the opulence like of this city in comparison to like the holy city?
It's very, very opulent. It's kind of up to you on the Holy City, but this place is like, obviously they seem to care a lot about appearances, and pretty much like everybody that you're walking past is either dressed with extreme fineries or seem very peasant-like.
Okay, so like extreme opulence, but for different reasons.
Yes.
Okay.
So you approach this building, which again is multi-towered. It has basically a towers flowing over each of these large 3 arches that you can see inside with. There's no door. It's just kind of like an open sort of foyer area with like a tiled floor, probably like a sort of like terracotta style, like tiled floor. There's a lot of people that seem to be milling about this place, going in and out of the building. Lots of like groups of people, and you can see that there are lots of guards around the area. Quite clearly guards posted at each of the arches, of different races and different sort of different appearance. You see a very large variety of appearance. There are they're wearing sort of a similar sort of armor and fineries over the armor. Most of the stuff looks very airy. A lot of like breathable kinds of fabrics and silks and things. It's very, very airy because it's just so fucking hot here. Belmorn, I mean, whatever system the Dragonborn have for trying to cool down, it's acting like on overdrive because you got fucking heavy ass armor on and fineries over that.
Like I'm quite used to high temperatures anyway, but it's still quite uncomfortable.
It's
once
humid.
It gets to a certain rate.
Really humid.
So
Pretty
how
much
is that?
it's just breathing heavier, sort of like to
How's that
exhume
for
the heat.
me?
It's up to you. How do you want it to be for you?
Like,
I mean-
I feel like he doesn't affect me as much, like, at all. Seeing as if I would be another Ganassi, I would say yes, but, like, seeing as I'm a fire Ganassi, like, it's, like, nothing to me.
Sure. I mean, you seem to
I
be
wasn't
managing
sure if
it
that's
fine.
possible, if I wasn't sure.
Is it like the most comfortable you've been in a while?
I would say, yeah. I mean, I like the fact that it's warm. Like, I definitely, if I was in a colder area, it would be terrible.
Okay. So, yeah, so you definitely have a sort of more, it feels like you've got more energy. You know what I mean? It just, there's a bit of like a spring in your step. But everybody else kind of looks miserable. It's just
I'm like visibly
moist.
dripping. Yeah. Why do I have to come here?
It's not so bad.
Kelvin, you look kinda wet.
And
You all right, Kelvin?
It's really warm compared to what we're used to up in yeah. Even the hottest days in St. Helena don't have a look in on this. Jeez, oh.
Well,
You got something that can cool you down there, Kelvin?
No, I didn't have enough time on the ship. I had to make other things, and I don't have any more. That don't help with cooling down.
What other things?
Doesn't matter. It's just things.
Kelvin, I know you probably does bloody matter, but you don't have to tell me. I ain't your mother.
No, you're not. You're a bit taller.
a bit.
Just a wee bit. She's very tall for a dwarf, my mum. What? No. She was almost 5 foot tall.
That is bloody tall for a dwarf.
Wow.
Right. Okay. Omnipresence.
I
Yes.
think we're almost there now, right?
Is that it there? What's everyone looking at so bloody weird?
Drab, if so, you, yeah, I go up to Drab. You know what we're looking for, right? We need to speak to Elder Overflow, and we are looking for an artifact. Now, I will let you do the talking, okay? But please, just please, don't be yourself.
He's talking to you, Drap.
I'm not promising anything, Billy. I mean, Belmont. God
Just-
damn it, Kelvin.
Don't do anything stupid.
Ah!
I shake my head. I'm gonna walk up and approach one of the guards
Okay,
outside
sure.
the omnipresence.
Yeah, they're wearing they appear to be wearing like it seems like some like studded like leather armor with some they're wearing, quite obviously they're wearing heraldry for this place. It's a scale with coins and gems with blue, green, and gold and a water kind of background behind it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna approach one of the guards. Is this guard a human? Is it some other race? Is it
Let's
some
see.
male or?
This is a am I rolling from the wrong thing? I am. Sorry, hang on. We gotta load up the proper random
So who's
generator.
second?
Okay, so it is a male dragonborn with green scales and gray eyes.
Yeah, I approach.
Ah, yes. Hello, my brother. We're with the Iron Foxes, and we have business with Elder Overflow.
You have business with Eldred Everflow.
Yes. With the Iron Foxes. We just arrived from St. Alana.
Looks you up and down.
You are from Bahamut.
I am.
Sort of like squints towards you.
Yeah, I meet his gaze.
About your height, pretty close, maybe a little bit shorter. And he says,
Very well. Follow me.
Thank you.
turns.
Just turn back to the group.
Yeah.
And just kind of motion them.
Yeah, you can see that this Dragonborn has like is pretty like loaded on weapons. Has like a bunch of stuff sort of tucked into various different parts of his belt and stuff. He has some like sais, some nunchucks, and yeah, it looks pretty like decked out.
A bow staff and a katana.
2 swords, a great axe.
Some pizza.
The best part is this was a random roll, and it just worked out like this.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, and you sort of walk into the foyer, and it's a very grand foyer. There's all this, like beautiful artwork and stuff that's sort of, like, in these huge frames, gilded frames that are just kind of all over the wall and whatnot, lush tabards and things. And you can see, like, there are, let me just count this. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different tabards in different styles, and they have like different colors, and you can see like this sort of like fancy different like depictions on the tabards, like these depictions of different different figures, I guess, different people on each of the tabards. But they're like well made like tabards that are sort of hanging tall, like long tabards that are hanging down. And you're muted.
Anything that I notice or recognize from spending time as a noble in Radoon, or just anything that I've noticed being flown in Bahamut?
I don't think so. I think that you had heard of things from the city, but I think we decided that you weren't from here. Is that right? Or, like, you hadn't visited here before?
I've never visited. I was just curious if I've ever seen the heraldry.
Drab was the one that had been here before. You definitely don't recognize the heraldry. I'm not going to have you roll anything for that.
Okay.
This heraldry is very particular to Zahuras.
Cool.
Drab, you can roll me a history check. Okay, so it's not really hard. You would recognize these tabards, Drab, from they're sort of like representative of the different members of the Omnipresence, and there's like different areas of their control throughout Zahuras. I don't know if you've been specifically to Kazakhs before, but you have been to Zahuras before, and you would know that like you've seen one of the tabards before. There's probably one that's purple and black that you would recognize. A very imposing looking figure is on that one. A person that you would have heard about, the Black Tongue, a female half ogre magi. She's known as kind of like a really serious badass.
Ah, Blackton.
Who is this Black Tongue you speak of?
Oh, no one Wouldn't argue with her.
Is it one of your ex-wives?
What? No.
Probably.
Oh,
What?
Wished.
well, that's a surprise.
I like them a bit more subjugated.
Or conjugated.
Anyway, Belmorn, can we go in?
We are in.
Yeah, so you've been sort of like being led through this building, which again has like very high ceilings. It's probably only like 2 or 3 stories, but the building's pretty big, meaning that like each story would be very, very tall. And the guard that sort of like walks you to a room says, with other guards in front of it, says,
Wait here. I will see if His Grace is available.
Thank you. I give a shallow bow.
he nods to the guards. The guards move out of the way of the door. He walks through. About a minute or so later, the guard returns and he says,
His Grace will see you shortly. If you could please have a seat outside.
and he motions towards like just outside the hallway. There's probably like a very well padded bench with like lush fabrics and shit on it.
Does it look sturdy enough for me and Belmont both to sit on it?
It's probably stone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you. Your scales are looking nice and healthy.
Calvin, come on.
What?
Calvin.
Just wait, son.
Fine. I roll my eyes at the green dragonborn.
We're
My
so
head
unreasonable
to them.
that you want to buy people's skin. It's crazy.
So yeah, you guys wait over by the stone bench, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait.
Right. Bored.
So why were we here if they're letting us wait so long?
How long do we wait? Just
An hour.
And there's no way I would wait an hour. I'd be knocking on doors within.
No,
like, 20
I'd like
minutes,
go
half an
to
hour.
stop you as you get up.
They're taking the bloody piss.
I realize that, but
Why would
Trust
they
me, the
try
last-
to take your piss?
it's a figure of speech, Ori.
Ori, you mind your language now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't listen to him.
It means they're
Look.
trying to make monkeys of us.
Not literally. These Astitious types, they'll make us wait just to make us wait. But when we're dealing with people so powerful such as them, it's probably in our best interest to just stick around. We are getting paid for all this after all.
We're not getting paid by the bloody hour, though.
No, but 10,000 gold is nothing to scoff at.
Quick question for Belmorn. How much scalage do you have that's not covered up?
The only bit would be like probably up around my neck, around my face. I'm like fully covered in either. Well, I'm fully covered in the suit of armor, and I'm adorned with like cloth and stuff. So the only spot you'd be able to get anything at is like around my neck, around my face.
Yeah. I'll probably stand up on the bench behind you and just have a look at the back of your neck.
Yeah, I know I can tell what you're doing, but I'm just like
But I'm just trying to see over. I'm trying to get a higher vantage point just to see if the coming.
Just don't touch me.
No.
I mean, I could cause a kerfuffle if you want. Speed them up.
I put a little
Let's-
do that
little
either.
tweezers back in my bag.
We could always just go to the inn and drink something.
That would be.
No, don't do
Horrible
that.
idea.
They'll no.
Are there
don't
any people walking around
There's lots of
drinks or
people.
something?
Oh, in here, no,
Like-
definitely not.
Let's just sit and wait. Remember, all rounds are on me if we sit and wait.
Yeah, so what would happen if we left is they'd be like, oh, you disrespected me. blah 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 blah. You just have to hear about it over and over and over. So it's just.
So it's just like trap talking. Okay, yeah. In that case, we'll just.
Yeah, but I mean, at least Job's kind of nice and sometimes entertaining. They're just. It's not.
What the fuck you mean sometimes?
I've dealt with these kind of
maybe
people.
you should yell so loud when we're in here.
Well, perhaps we shouldn't wait so bloody long.
Trap!
And or he's like trying to climb on you to like try and like cover up your mouth.
I'm shooting you like a pretty fierce look and kind of huffing some smoke out through my nose.
Can we all just fucking settle down? Shut up.
Yeah, Belborn
Shut
just
up,
swore.
Kelvin.
I'm just gonna sort of take Ori off my mouth. Put it down.
Oh.
Half an hour more.
Okay. I sidle up next to Ignia.
How about we play a game?
No games.
What game?
I don't like games anymore.
Oh, I'd happily do a game.
This
Of course
game
She's
is very simple. The person who can stay quiet the longest gets a gold piece.
Oh, I've played this game so many times before with Belmore. It's really good.
It's quite something.
I look at Belborn and roll my eyes so hard you can almost hear them scraping on the inside of my skull.
Like your iris like actually disappears. It's just you can see like the connective bits from the back part of your eyeball kind of shows up.
Or he
I'm,
like is sitting like rigid, like straight, like up against the wall. It's a stark contrast between her and Drab. She's like sitting between Drab and Belmorn, and like it's just like Drab, Ori, Belmorn.
Looks like the top of a castle.
Yep.
So I'm just sitting next to Ignia, and I kind of lean back, like really far, on the seat, and lean over a little bit, and I'm having a good look at her hair.
We got the tweezers out again.
Yeah,
give me a stealth. Give me a stealth check, please, Kelvin.
Do I have to roll a perception?
I think it's just against your passive perception, because.
What's your passive? What do I need to beat?
Where do I see my passive again?
It should be right below your attributes.
Oh, 15.
Would you allow me to include mine as well? Because
Sure.
I really have been keeping my eye on
Never
him.
mind.
Yeah, I have a 10 passive perception.
I'm
I
like,
have a 15, so.
I just sort of like look
So-
at you.
So you
I just like look at him. as
So
well, like-
Kelvin's like trying to be overly stealthy. You know what I mean? Like he's making these grand gestures that are just like quite obviously like really not too bright. And you totally catch him like about to try and grab a hair from you. Both
What
you
do
and
think you're
Belmorn.
doing?
what? It was just,
What are you doing with my hair? And it just
Nothing.
you see it just
You
like flicker when I say that.
You can pretend you're stretching all you want, but you still have a giant set of metal tweezers in one of your hands.
no, these are,
Try to take my hair out.
No,
What are they?
You're
they're
gonna
grip,
have it.
they're grip trainers.
Yeah, can I
I like
try?
squeeze them.
Can I try?
No, they're mine. They're special. No, I put them in my bag. No, I was.
Can I try to I'll try to sleight hand steal them out of his bag.
Okay, you try and put them into his bag.
No, I'm
starting to
trying to
have
take
some-
out
some
of his bag.
By the way, Drab,
Minor anxiety.
By the
So
way-
I'm gonna start up and kind of just start pacing in circles in front of us all.
Drab, have you
I'm
talked
having
at
a
all?
tough
By the
time
way.
dealing with this.
No.
Okay. Ori just keeps like looking up at you and then like going like rigid.
I keep looking down and just I like throw her a wink.
Ignia, how dare you try and remove something so personal to me?
Just like my hair is personal to me.
I wouldn't.
Just because you give me that gift, I'll warn you. If you just touch
didn't.
my hair.
I don't know what you're talking about. Never gave you anything.
Oh, so this doesn't do anything, and I just grab it in my hand.
Don't. Be careful with that.
And like you have this like strange. What does it look like, Kelvin?
Like a piece of like cinder.
It's a little like burnt, like a little like charred piece of wood, and it's kind of like crackling lately.
Sure. So you can. So Belmorn is like pacing around. Ignia like pulls this thing out, and Kelvin's face is like,
no. And you don't.
And as you do that, you can hear like the clomp, clomp, clomp of 2 guards flanking what appears to be like a higher ranked guard. And they sort of like walk up to you to this scene, and they say,
His Grace Eldred Everflow will see you now.
Great. Well, thank you very much. I'll sidle up next to Drab and nudge him in the thigh.
I say nothing.
Saved by the bell, eh?
I look at Kelvin, and I look back at Ori. Is she moving? Is she moving there?
She's moving, yeah. She's getting up like out of the chair, and she's just like looking at you.
Oh, you're playing the game, okay.
Let's go.
It's fine. Good luck.
Why was it taking so long? I asked the guard.
His Grace is a very busy man. Please, take no offense.
And the same green-scaled dragonborn sort of motions towards inside this grand chamber past the door that you guys were led to before. And you can see that the guards are there, and they sort of like walk in. As you guys walk into the room, they sort of like walk in with you. Inside, there's kind of like a very beautiful view that's like out into kind of like overlooking like some of the jungle and stuff to the east, and very, very extravagant looking furniture and tapestries and whatnot. You can see that there is an elf looking kind of person, has a bearing of an elf, but as they turn towards you, you can see that they don't have the pointed ears. It's just kind of like a bit of a slight point to them. This person's wearing like very fine purple and silver clothing. He's wearing like a leather gorget, you know, the thing that like clasps around your neck. And sort of like extends for like towards pauldrons, and they're like very fine like pauldrons attached to a silver silken cloak. Everything looks very expensive, and is ornamented with probably some like silver thread and such all through it. He turns towards you and he says, "Welcome to Kazakh's Iron Foxes. You may be seated." And that's where we're going to take our first break. Our first break. We'll be back in 5 minutes, everybody. Stay tuned for some more of Turn Order, the 7th Eon, episode number 5. We'll be right back.